All right, this is Brian Young with SCX Tech Video on analog cars. I want to make this video on customers that have an analog car, and if your car fails to run after 10 or 20 minutes, maybe it's hit the wall a couple times. This is, we're testing the car out on the track. It's good. There's two reasons why your analog car would fail to run after maybe a couple minutes of running. The first of is your motor mount. The prongs on your motor have bent up and aren't touching the circuit. Okay, these are the two circuits that go up to the front of the car. They come out. Okay, and they're like a spring action. You see how they are springed in there like that? You see how they push in there like that? Okay, your guide pin has to clip in there. Okay, and also spring. Okay, if these have gotten bent, okay, or they've gotten twisted, you're not going to have good contact with your guide pin, okay? And you might need a new circuit, okay? Usually we have to send you a new chassis if you've done that, okay? But this is the number one reason for the car not working is your prongs on your motor mount have bent up, and so when you snap it back in, they're not making good contact with the circuit here, okay? And that can be the reason, if this is bent up. So I'm going to bend one of these up a little bit. Okay. If you don't have it touched down there, no circuit. So you pop it out, bend that prong down. Okay, see how I bent that down? Snap that back in, and boom, car will run. Now, another reason that your guide braid should move back and forth freely. See how it springs? That's part of the return. It's called our ARS, automatic return system. And there's a little spring here. See that little spring here? I don't know if you can see it close enough, but it's right in here. It's kind of a wire with a spring and then a wire. And that basically allows the guide pin to spring back into position. See how it's springing back? If these have gotten bent, okay, and I've seen some of these that are just horrendous. They've just gotten bent and twisted, and they're not making good contact with your guide braid. Your car won't have power at all, okay? These cars, there's nothing to these cars, the analog cars, okay? So there's really not a lot that can go wrong with it other than the motor, and the motors really last a long time. We, make a lot of them, okay? But those are the two reasons you want to check for if your car is sputtering on the track or not running at all. Your guide braid, and making sure your guide braids are clean, and watch the video on how to clean your guide braids. Making sure everything is flat, especially in here, because these will catch, if these things are bent, these will catch inside of there, and your guide braid or your guide pin won't turn freely. It'll get stuck in one position. Okay? So that's an SCX video on analog cars maintenance, making sure they're running properly, okay?